Moria stood in her garden, her mind consumed with thoughts of the upcoming blood moon. It was still some time away, but she was already making plans. The blood moon only appeared once every 2 or 3 years, and its rare, powerful energy would be the perfect ingredient for a new potion she'd been preparing. This particular brew could turn the tides in her favor, granting her the power she had long sought. But before that, she needed to focus on something, or rather, someone new. While tending to her wilting pumpkin patch, Moria noticed a flash of bright yellow among the leaves. At first, she thought it was a trick of the light, but when the fluttering continued, she realized it was a bird, in fact a yellow crow. Moria raised an eyebrow. Crows weren't usually yellow. "Who are you?" Moria asked, tilting her head. The yellow crow landed on the edge of a vine, its golden feathers shimmering in the light. "I'm Sun Ray," the crow said in a melodic voice. "My father is Clever." Moria's eyes widened with interest. "Clever's daughter, you say? How fascinating." Sun Ray fluffed her feathers proudly. "I'm learning all about the art of pumpkin growing, just like my father. I want to be just as successful as he is, because I love to eat pumpkin seeds." Moria smirked. The wheels in her mind began to turn. Sun Ray was young, eager, and full of potential, exactly the kind of ally Moria needed. But more than that, Sun Ray was a direct link to Clever. If Moria could use Sun Ray to her advantage, she might finally be able to outdo Clever once and for all. "Me too," said Moria. "Maybe we could share notes." "Sure," Sun Ray cawed. Later that night, Moria sat by her cauldron, her beginner's spellbook open on the table in front of her. She had been flipping through its pages, looking for something specific that would allow her to manipulate Sun Ray without raising suspicion. As her fingers skimmed over a page, her eyes landed on the perfect spell. A cloning spell. If Moria could turn Sun Ray into an exact clone of Clever, she could use her to grow pumpkins identical to his and finally beat him at his own game. But the spell required several rare ingredients that Moria didn't have. That's when an idea struck her. What if she could get the villagers to gather the ingredients for her, without them even realizing it? Moria grinned wickedly. She would host a scavenger hunt, offering great rewards to the winner. Under the guise of fun and games, she would have the villagers collect the items she needed for her spell. Items for both her current plan and future brews. Moria whisked a flyer with the flick of her wand, commanded a colony of bats to post the flyers throughout the forest and villages, spreading the word, inviting everyone to join the scavenger hunt. "There are grand rewards for those who find the most items," she declared, her voice echoing through the town square. The villagers, eager for a bit of fun and adventure, signed up immediately, unaware that they were gathering supplies for Moria's dark magic. The list of items included things like feathers from a rare black owl, yellow pumpkin seeds, crystallized honey silver moss from the old forest, dried petals from the moon lily plant, feathers from a rare yellow crow. Each of these items was essential for the cloning spell, and the villagers, thinking they were just part of a fun competition, set off to collect them. But the last ingredient was only on Sun Ray's list. Moria needed something of hers for the spell to work. When Sun Ray saw the list call for a yellow crow feather, she said that one is easy and plucked one out with her beak. As the scavenger hunt unfolded, Moria sat back, watching as the villagers returned with baskets full of rare treasures. Sun Ray, always eager to help, not only participated in the hunt, but was the first to collect an item. Collecting that yellow feather was easy. Now off to the seeds she went with her bright yellow plumage flashing in the sunlight. "Soon," Moria muttered to herself, watching Sun Ray from a distance. "Soon you'll be more than just a helper. You'll be my Clever." With the scavenger hunt complete and all the necessary ingredients in her possession, Moria wasted no time in preparing the spell. She mixed the feathers, seeds, honey, moss, and petals into her cauldron, chanting the words from her spell book. The potion bubbled and frothed, glowing with an eerie light. Sun Ray, completely unaware of Moria's true intentions, stood nearby, watching with curiosity. "What are you brewing, Moria?" "Something special," Moria replied with a sly smile. "For you, my dear." Moria dipped a small goblet into the cauldron, filling it with the glowing liquid. "Drink this, I mean taste this," she said, offering the goblet to Sun Ray. "It will make you fly faster just like a falcon. You will be growing pumpkins in record time with the speed this will give you." Sun Ray, trusting Moria, took the goblet and drank the potion. First, nothing happened. So Moria thought she should add more ingredients to her brew because she thought it was weak when all of a sudden it blew up. It's the second time the belly of the cauldron erupted. The first time weakened it, this time it broke her cauldron. Then, Sun Ray's yellow feathers began to glow, and her body shimmered as the magic took hold. "You just needed to be patient," Daniel Thorne purred, "and now you froth all over you." Moria's eyes gleamed with anticipation as Daniel Thorne kept irritating her. "Yes," she whispered, "transform into Clever. Become the key to my victory." But something went wrong. Instead of transforming into a clone of Clever, Sun Ray's body began to morph into something entirely different. Her feathers fell away, replaced by fur. Her wings shrank, and her beak disappeared. Her body grew long and sleek, and before Moria could stop the transformation, Sun Ray had turned into a red-haired fox. Moria gasped in disbelief. What is this?" Sun Ray, now a fox, looked down at her paws, her bright orange fur gleaming like the color of pumpkins. "What happened to me?" she asked, her voice trembling. Moria's heart sank. The spell had failed. Instead of turning Sun Ray into Clever, she had turned her into a red-haired fox. The villagers, upon seeing the transformation, began calling her Little Red because her fur was the same color as the pumpkins in Moria's garden. Moria stood in her garden, staring at Little Red with frustration bubbling inside her. She had come so close to finally having the upper hand against Clever, and now it had all fallen apart. Sun Ray was no longer a valuable asset. She was just a fox, cursed by Moria's failed spell. The villagers, still unaware of Moria's true intentions, marveled at Little Red's new form, thinking it was some kind of magical trick. But Moria knew better. She had lost again. Daniel Thorne, lounging on a nearby pumpkin, smirked as he watched the scene unfold. "You tried to clone Clever and ended up with a fox," he said with a yawn. "Impressive." "Shut up," Moria snapped, her fists clenched. "This was supposed to be my year." Daniel Thorne stretched lazily. "Who knows, maybe next year is." Moria glared at him, but deep down, she knew he was right. Once again, her trickery and magic had backfired, leaving her with nothing but a red-haired fox and a failed plan. As the blood moon drew closer, Moria couldn't help but feel the weight of her losses. But she wasn't ready to give up yet. As the sun set and the villagers began to leave, Moria muttered under her breath, "Next year." And like the cat said, maybe, next year will be my year. But as long as Moria continued to rely on deceit and manipulation, her victories would remain as elusive as the power she so desperately sought. And what was a scavenger hunt without finding hidden items that not even she knew how to properly wield?